Just a couple quick examples to remember before we get into problems where we have multiple variables, a lot of things going on. So first off, we have x to the negative fourth. And we have x to the negative fourth. Remember, negative exponents, we can make them positive by moving them. So we're going to move the x to the fourth. Right now it's in the numerator, because it's kind of like x to the negative fourth over 1. We're going to move it to our denominator. So I'm going to have 1 over x to the positive fourth. So we can move something with a negative exponent to either the denominator from the numerator or from the denominator up to the numerator, and it will change its sign. Here we have x to the 0. Remember, anything raised to the 0 is 1. Sometimes you'll see a big complicated problem with a ton of stuff going on in the parentheses, all raised to the 0 power, and it's just 1. So always look for that. Next thing, negative 2 over x to the negative 3. Well, I can move my x to the negative 3 up to the numerator and get negative 2 x to the third. Now, why didn't I move the negative 2? Negative 2 is not an exponent. It's a coefficient. So look down here. Keep in mind, negative coefficients do not move. Super, super important. Make sure you remember that. And lastly, we have x to the negative fifth over x to the negative third. Okay, well, first off, we can simplify our coefficients. They're both divisible by 2, so I'm going to have negative 3 over 5. Now, here's the tricky thing with the negative exponents. Which number is larger? Negative 3 or negative 5? Well, negative 3 is closer to 0. When we're talking about negative numbers, you kind of have to think opposite. So negative 3 is going to be a larger exponent. So I know my x is going to be down here. Now I got to figure out what my exponent is going to be. So I'm going to have negative 3 minus negative 5. So that's like adding. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So here's my final answer.